Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Heilman and Haver. We've got the founder of the Seattle Film Summit with us today, Ben Andrews. Greg and I are really grateful to be part of the Seattle Film Summit this year that runs September 3rd through the 11th. We've been asked to do some Q&As and host and do some emceeing, and we really appreciate the partnership that we've been able to forge with Ben. It's a fantastic organization. Anyone interested in film, filmmaking, anything related to film, creativity, art, even politics should show up to the Seattle Film Summit coming up starting this Friday. So we asked Ben to jump online with us for a few minutes. He's a busy guy, but we have a few questions for him, and we want to promote this fantastic event. It's virtual, so there is a live option and a virtual option for those, for everybody. So Ben, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on. Appreciate it.
We know that you are just crazy busy right now. Under the gun, what do you call this? The craziest week usually in theaters, the one leading up to opening night. So really quickly, we just wanted to get a background on the Film Summit as newcomers, and so that we can share this with our audience. The summit's been around since 2013. Tell us a little bit about how it came about and what the journey's been like since for you.
Yeah, well, that's not a weighted question at all. We're starting in the deep end. I got into creativity late in my life, probably, I want to say my early 30s. That's not late in life, but if you're trying to be a career artist, maybe it's a little late. Anyway, the point is when I got into the film industry here in Washington, those first 3 to 5 years, I was acting in some things and I was producing some things, and I was getting acclimated to the environment. But I'm a career project manager. So when I always look at anything, whatever environment I'm in, I'm always into process improvement mode. And one of the things that struck me right off the bat, especially since I'd been on some film sets, and film sets were to me like the mecca. It's like you had all these creative people, whether it was independent film or big productions, it was still all these creatives who had different professional views or were in different creative silos, whether they were actors, writers, directors, photographers, makeup. But they all had to view their art as one piece to a greater will, and or a spoke to a greater will. And so then when I got into the kind of the film industry here in Washington, that's what I wanted to do. I felt like we could improve the will, and what better way to create a summit to bring people together and talk about improving our industry here in the state. That's the beginning.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. I'm also a program project manager by trade, so I understand the trying to herd cats and get some sort of order from chaos. And it seems like the summit has done that. You've got all kinds of aspects. Some of the things Matt talked about in the introduction. What can people expect? So first time people coming to the summit, what can they expect to see when they attend?
Well, I think they're going to see something that they haven't seen before. And it's interesting because when I started it, it was, about the film industry and film. But I'll tell you, I didn't really even fully knew what the vision was at that time. And I've always been somebody that allows things to evolve. The core of it is film. So you will come and you will get education on writing, scripts, storytelling, how to get distribution for your films. There's actor showcases, but above and beyond that, what we've really tried to do is, I think at the core of it, my mission now is to help artists become advocates of their own work, not just trying to go to a studio or a producer or a distributor to get their work sold. I'm talking about turning them into a one-man wrecking ball. In other words, I want the creatives in our state and everywhere, to be truthful, to be able to be advocates for their creativity on a political level, on a corporate level, on a social level, and not just for their own work, but for their own creative silos, for their community. So it's not just about your own artwork, the way I view it. It's about elevating those creatives around you. So it's kind of like that all ships rise with the same tide. Mm-hmm. So at the summit, you're just going to get a lot of pieces of everything, and you're going to be in front of senators, and there's going to be council members and chambers there, Chamber of Commerce's. And so we're not just only trying to educate our community about how to enter and thrive in the artistic industries, but we're also trying to educate our political leaders that, hey, this is something you need to be interested in from all levels, not just social levels, but economic levels and political levels, and they can all fit together in this kind of new puzzle that I don't think this country has viewed it that way from the beginning.
Well, it's interesting. A recent interview we did was with Tim Hagen, who's the founder and chair of the Olympic College Film School over here in Bremerton, just across the water. And there should be an Olympic College presence actually at the summit this coming week. And he spoke about the viability of Seattle and the demand for digital content, and how, a lot of cities that you may not think of right off the top of your head are really emerging as hubs. You don't have to be in LA anymore. On the 3rd, we're going to debut the first half of our interview with Mark Evans, a documentary filmmaker, also a teacher at Olympic College. And he talked about that. You can really do this stuff from anywhere you are. And I think that speaks to the importance of growing that community. That's been the fun of this podcast, is the ability for Greg and I to meet new people and grow our body of friends and connections. And we're really excited to be part of this summit this year. Aside from, the elephant in the room, aside from the ongoing challenges of COVID, there's been a few changes on the schedule. And but what's new this year in 2021 that maybe you haven't done in past years?
Yeah, well, a lot of it is focused around that advocacy part with our political leaders. So we have a creative economy contest, which I'm super excited about. And essentially, we open it up for people to just submit ideas about how to improve a creative economy within your state or your region. And we didn't give them any guardrails around that. We didn't want to give them guardrails around it. Like, come with your craziest ideas. And we did that in collaboration with a lot of our art organizations in the state. So it was King County Creative, it was the Washington State Arts Commission, and the Washington State Arts Alliance. I think they call themselves Inspire now. And they all came together and they worked with us for 3 or 4 months building this framework. And so that's exciting to me. And we have 5 really cool ideas. And at the summit on the 11th, they'll pitch in front of a political leader, an angel investor, and a nationally known entrepreneur. And I'm probably going to throw in a Hollywood manager in there also, just so that they get this kind of input from 4 different significant lanes. So that's one. And then the political candidate forum. So we got the Seattle council members and mayoral council candidates and mayoral candidates coming to speak only on creative economy. So I'm excited about that. What else do we got that's new? There's like 70 hours of programming, so I get a little lost in it.
Well, that kind of leads us into our next question. What panels and events are you even personally most excited about? You can't pick favorites.
We're doing the hypothetical pick your favorite child thing, right?
You're right.
Yeah. What is my favorite? That's a really excellent question. The 2 I just mentioned are probably up there in the top of my favorites because, they're the ones that I came up with. They're like, I want to do new stuff. I want to do things that aren't done at these type of festivals before. But other than that, we have a couple projects that we have Parallel that is starring Aldous and Edwin Hodge. And if you don't know who they are, you should look them up because they're already big and they're going to get much bigger.
Yes, you should.
And they came to the summit in 2020 virtually. So they didn't, physically come here, but they were panelists and they have this project that they're going to shoot that just happened to be perfect for the state of Washington. So after that panel at the summit, then they came back again this year, and cross your fingers, we're really, really close to getting it so that they can shoot that film in the state come April of 2022. And really so to me, that's a culmination of a goal of the Seattle Film Summit. Mm-hmm. We want to bring in producers. We want to bring in people from out of state to witness the state, see what we've got here, not just from an industry perspective, but from the beauty and the weather and the forests. And I don't think I've told anybody about this, but the Parallel panel is on Saturday, and Sunday we're actually facilitating a location scout for their entire production team. So
wow, congrats. That's great.
yeah. So stuff like that, where it's multiple threads or multiple birds, one stone. Those are kind of my jam.
Well, growing that community and making things happen for people.
Yeah, and not just people. One of the things that's been a thread through all the conversations we've had with you, Ben, is about networking, and that the film summit is about networking, and it's not just networking people; it's bringing people to show them an area like Seattle, and it's really great. Before we let you go, if you could just speak a little bit about how people, if they're interested in attending the summit, either virtually or in person, hopefully, then how can they learn more about it, look at the schedule, and maybe get some tickets?
Yeah, if you go to seattlefilmsummit.com and you go to the 2021 tab, there's a whole list of things you can check out, including the schedule. And I'll tell you, there's another favorite thing that we did. You don't actually have to buy a ticket to the summit to network or have a piece of the networking. I think it's on Saturday at 6:30. This Saturday, 6:30, Saturday the 4th, we have a Zoom networking session in partnership with Stage 32. And if you're not familiar with Stage 32, they're like the largest social platform for filmmaker networking. I think they're up to 750,000 members. And in collaboration with them, we're going to do a Zoom networking session. All you have to do is go to the site and register, and you don't have to buy a ticket. And then the day before, we'll send you a link and you can come in and network with everybody. Because that's one thing too, like just because you don't have the money or you can't make it in person, we want you to be able to engage with us, because there's a whole lot more coming out of the Seattle Film Summit in the next year or two, some exciting things that are going to be year-round content. But yeah, on that website, I think virtual tickets right now are, I should know these things. I want to say they're $50. And the in-person day is $100. And the in-person day, a lot of the footprint is outdoors. It's going to be socially distanced, masked. And then we have this really cool VIP party with a couple really great bands and a little esports tournament with some former sports players from different teams. Are going to be playing each other, and some aerialists and body painting. Did I say that's $100 for that ticket? So
you did now. And that's sounding like my favorite event of the entire summit. And it probably will end up being yours, because that means that's a wrap. And you can take a quick breath before you start planning 2022, right? The work never ceases.
No, it does. It does not seem to cease, but it's okay. Like they say, if you're doing what you love, you never work another day in your life.
That's true. Well, we'll let you get back to work. Thank you again, Ben Andrews, founder of the Seattle Film Summit. If you're interested, check out seattlefilmsummit.com. You can check them out on Facebook as well. And just search Seattle Film Summit. Watch our Facebook feed as well. We'll be updating you and on happenings, and we'll be offering some special interviews and things throughout the week. Again, September 3rd through 11th. Ben, we hope you get a great turnout. Hope everybody, is masked up, stays safe. Everything stays as it is now, so the summit can proceed as usual. And thanks again for letting us take part. We're excited.
Yeah, thanks for partnering with us, and thanks for having me on here. I appreciate it.
You bet. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep,
definitely.